Winespring, what's up? Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show. We are back for another live stream, and we've got a very special guest with us today. So I am... Special guest. I am in awe of WoTSeries. If you don't know what it is, well, I'm sure you do, but if you don't... These are like the Wheel of Time spies. They're like the sleuths. They like know everything before anybody else knows it. They're the ones who break the news about casting and locations and set buildings and all kinds of stuff. So I am extremely honored that Omar from WoTSeries has decided to join us today.
Yeah.
Yay! Yay!
Celebrity.
Hercules.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, so we are going to talk a little bit about WoTSeries and the amazing work that they do today. And then, because we've got somebody who's got all the deets, like, well, at least more deets than anybody else that I know, we're going to talk about season 2 predictions. And he's going to be here to tell us that we're being stupid because X, Y, and Z thing that he knows that nobody else knows. Right, Omar? That's the plan.
We're trying to get stuff out of him.
Well, I feel like they report on a lot of the stuff that they know, but... Anyways.
He's got secrets. I know he's got, look at his face. He's got secrets. He's not told us. Almost guaranteed.
And what's up, chat? Thank you so much for being here, everyone. It is lovely to see you all once again. We are hype training right now for season 2 because just last week WoTSeries announced the casting for Shiriam Sadai. So that's really, really exciting. And speaking of, now that we're talking about characters and whatever, we are going to try to limit spoilers to season 1 of the Wheel of Time and things that can be extrapolated based on the sizzle reel and things that we know from book 2 and book 3, because those are the books that they said might be at issue in season 2. And if there's anything that's going to come up that's going to be later books, we will warn you. So those are the rules. We didn't talk about this before the stream, but I just made them up. These are the rules for everyone that's here. Okay, great. So don't spoil anything in the chat.
Got it.
And so let's just get into I kind of introduced Omar already, but I'm going to let him introduce himself in case I missed anything relevant or if he wants to talk about anything specific. Now's your chance to just plug away and, give us your life story. And I always want to hear about how you got involved with the Wheel of Time specifically.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. First, thank you for having me. Kritter, Tavern, Winespring. My name is Omar. I'm one of 4 people who work at WoTSeries. We're all 4 of us. We've been doing this for, I want to say, well, individually probably for a lot longer, but together for almost over 3 years.
Wow.
We just, honestly, simply put, like any one of the Wheel of Time fans that we interact with on Twitter and on Facebook, etc., we just look for information. We share it amongst each other. We freak out. We, jump up and down in excitement and can't believe what one of us found, and then we keep doing it. And then the bits that we think are worth sharing, we do share. And sometimes, there are bits that we might think they might not be valuable or might get somebody in trouble, so we don't share those. But for the most part, a lot of the exciting things that we find, we just bring it to the fandom, and gives us a platform to talk to everyone, get excited with everyone, which is what we all want to do, honestly. I mean, see these, the podcasts and the YouTube videos and the content creators, etc. So, our website is WatchSeries.com. Like I said, it's our team is Lane, Sarah, Geeky Airy, and yours truly. Me being the least of these, and they're amazing people, wonderful people. We got along so well. We geek out over all the same things.
Awesome.
So yeah, WatchSeries.com is our website. You go there, you can get to all of our other places. We do also run a Facebook group that's been around for a long time. It was one of the first TV series and book groups called Wheel of Time series. We have about 12,000 members.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. And it's we actually have some cast members in there, I think. So it's a really nice group, very welcoming, very inclusive. So we run that along with all of our other social media accounts. But again, the work that we do is what we like doing. We do it every day. Honestly, not a day. Rarely does a day go by where we're not talking on Discord, just talking about new finds and how to find something else and how to dig up new information and bring it to everybody. But yeah, that's us.
That is awesome. So I will ask, well, okay, so when have you read all of the Wheel of Time, and when did you start reading them?
I read the first 2 books and then called it a day. So just,
Okay,
relatable.
yeah. No, but I think it was 2010 thereabouts. I finished the first 5 books, or the only 5 books of Song of Ice and Fire. And my niece, who's a big fantasy nerd, I asked her, like, I need a book series, but I need it to be finished, and the more books the better. She's like, Wheel of Time, definitely. She's like, it's not finished, but by the time you get through the books that are out, you'll be set up really nice. So I did have to wait because I gobbled those up really, really, really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I don't like to read that much, I ripped through those books. At the time, I wasn't doing audiobooks, so I finished all of them. Then when the last one came, and ever since, I've been just re-listening to them.
Yeah. Very relatable. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, and Tavern Winespring, feel free to interrupt whenever you could come up with a question, but I just love this, getting all this information. So what is your favorite, like, it could be season 1 or season 2, what's your favorite bit of information that you all uncovered?
We always go back to Jordan Studios.
Okay.
That one in particular, the group minus me, I had something going on. They're just freaking out and just like, hey, Omar, where are you? And they were just looking at angles and pictures of, just a small little corner of a picture with that Zoe Robbins posted, and they could identify the building, and they started looking for buildings and narrowed down the area. And, and just like, this building looks like that, and this one has balconies and everything. And we ended up finding the actual Jordan Studios, and then we ended up finding pictures of the banner that was put up during Harriet's visit. We found those separately, and it just kind of like confirmed everything, that this was actually, in fact, Jordan, because we were looking for it for a long time. We knew like references of sound stages and filming and the like. And we were looking at all the, Barandov studios. There's a Prague studio. So we're looking at all of those, trying to match, but nothing really quite fit. And then that day was just really, really exciting. It just kind of, because there was a lot of detective work from everybody on Google Maps and, Google Earth and whatnot, trying to find like Street View. And finally, when we found it, how it all came together was really cool.
That is so funny. You guys are like celebrities to me, honestly. I met
Yes.
Sarah. I met Sarah at OGearCon in Charleston, and she is like the coolest person. And it's like my dream to meet Ari one day. I don't think I've met her because she's just like, she's like all of her like projections for the season 2 release date. All the she keeps charts. It's like insane. So I just love you guys. I think you're like my idols.
Thank you. Thank you. And there's a running joke with us. A lot of times, Ari finds things, especially when it relates to who's where and when.
Yeah.
She finds things so often, so quickly, that almost every single time it used to be like, "Hey guys, look what I found," and then Lane would be like, "Hey, scroll up 3 messages," and she would have
That's incredible. So I guess given all the, so we're going to get into the season 2 discussion now, unless anybody has any WoTSeries specific questions before we do.
So do you work for the CIA or the FBI? Clearly it's one of them with how gifted you guys are.
We always say Amazon could save themselves a lot of trouble. Just hire us and we'll find all the secrets and give them back to you. No, we wouldn't do that. But anyways, but we all individually, we all have unique skills. I mean, some of us are really good at search. Some of us are really good in the film industry. Like, you ask Lane any question about, productions and how big and what they do. Would they normally do this? Would they normally do that? Sarah and Ari have just an amazing eye for detail. I mean, like a lot of times an actor will post a photo and I look at it as like, oh, cool. And they're like, what do you mean cool? Did you see the thing behind the thing on the table on the post-it note?
Awesome.
And I was like, hey, how did you notice that thing? And how did you even read the thing? It's just, this is not, enhance is not a real life thing when you have a blurry photo of some sort. But yeah, it's there is a lot of detective work.
So I have to ask, do you have any like scripts or automations running on computers, like constantly or constantly looking for like keywords to pop?
Oh, we do have some, yes.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, well,
I'm
yeah,
just so
that makes
proud of
sense.
you guys.
I know. It's like you could
That's
literally.
really hardcore. Yeah.
Incredible. Weekly Wheel News is asking, is Omar ordering pizza tonight?
Yeah, actually, but I have the food ready. I just need to know where to deliver it.
Yeah. So let him know. Weekly Wheel News. NSA says Dana Luhu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CIA, FBI. I have a question. So, well, this isn't a question. This is a statement. One, I was correct. They are hiding stuff. So they do know stuff that they're not giving us.
What it sounds like.
Which is fine. I get it. I understand.
Cool.
Two, when you see during season 1, we had a lot of information coming in from India and whatnot. I don't know if you remember that. There were a lot of posts and stuff. Do you communicate with other sites, or do you see something they post? If they posted it first, verify it, or how does that work?
Generally, no. We will talk to people within the fandom, with other content creators, and we've developed a couple rules over time. You'll notice we will almost never post a photo or a video that's from the set itself unless it's public knowledge and it's been out there. Do you remember the first photos, really, really beautiful photos that we saw of Rand in the archery yard? Do you remember those photos with the Egwene? When we found those photos, we talked about it for a long time, and that was like one of the biggest like holy-ish moments that we had. Is like, oh my goodness, because up until that point, we've never really seen actors in character and on set. But again, we made the decision. Those were, even though we talked to the photographer, they assured us they were not on the set itself. It was from a publicly viewable area. But we made the decision not to post them. We actually, referenced the photos and back-linked to. They were out in the public domain, right?
Right.
So when we've seen a lot of leaks, I mean, we see them like everybody does. There are a couple of Reddits that do that. But a lot of those, we're aware of them. Sometimes we know about them beforehand. Sometimes we don't. We've even had stuff peddled to us.
No kidding.
Hey
man, I've got some photos.
Like we got from Morocco. There was like somebody, hey, would you pay me for this video? And we're like, no, thank you, pass. Again,
wow.
Sketchy.
Wow. You're
It's
so
like,
official.
Listen, you're not the National Enquirer. I completely get that. You're not doing catch and kill, which apparently is a big thing now.
Yeah, but again, I mean, if it comes down to like we get messages on Twitter from even not like content creators, like fans just like us that say, hey, by the way, I heard this, or by the way, do you know where this happened or when that happened? Do you know where this location is? We go back and forth. We talk to people. We get emails. We discuss amongst ourselves, other content creators. But when it comes to the websites that are generally outside of the fandom, I can't really recall that we're doing any of that. So, yeah.
Okay, so without giving anything away, if there is anything to give away, have you come across any season 2 things that you have not posted?
Yes.
What was the answer?
Sounded like a yes to me.
Oh!
Yeah, true. Something good.
Okay, on that note, if you ever need any graphics or anything, please let me know. I am more than happy to help. I'm very good at keeping secrets. I was in counterintelligence for 20-something years in the military. I can keep secrets. Yeah. I just like helping out. So just letting you know.
Definitely we'll talk. And again, by the way, some of this stuff is uncorroborated. Like, some stuff we know. Some other, like a good example of this, we know of quite a few extras, right, that might have a named role. And it might be small, and they might get in trouble if they put it out there. So we just it doesn't add much. And two, there's always a danger of like, hey, here's an extra, and the next thing you know, somebody's like, oh my goodness, this is Davram Bashir. No, it's really just an extra. It's but yeah, there are things that we come across, and there are things that we come across that we are developing as stories. For example, there are things that we do a lot of research on. We've covered a lot about locations and budgets, and that gets into sometimes contracts and other things that we're doing research. Right. And We put out emails and requests to agencies and government agencies and the like. So yeah, there's a story. Just again, we're not journalists, but at least in some aspects, we follow some of those same steps.
Okay, I love that. It feels like you guys are like because we've seen some people who shall remain nameless who have leaked some things onto Twitter and Reddit and whatnot and their own websites, and then it's caused kind of a bit of a stir because it was like that was not something that was supposed to happen, right? And it feels like you guys are on the more like ethical side of things where you're like, I'm gonna make sure it's vetted, I'm gonna make sure it's public already, even if it takes a lot of digging. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna get in trouble for this. So I very much respect that because
thank you. And by the way, I don't know, I can't say for sure, but I'm not I can't say that Amazon likes what we do, but like I said, pretty much all the info that we post is available publicly. You just look, right? We look really hard, really, really, really hard.
Super hard.
Yeah.
You
Very
haven't
good.
come across you haven't come across any writers, have you?
Writers, as in
What the actors expect in their dressing rooms?
Oh, writers.
writers.
Yeah, writers.
No.
Red
That would be
Starburst
amazing.
only.
Hey,
like
Red Starburst only.
This cast, though, for some reason, they strike me as the super reasonable bunch.
Oh, yeah.
It just
They seem really down to earth.
Down to earth,
Real
yeah.
down to earth.
I love them. I just love them so much. Okay, so we were going to talk about season 2, and so I think the first thing I'll ask you about season 2, and I know, like, just based on Ari and all of her like charts, I assume that you guys don't have a line on the season 2 release date. So if you had to guess what it is, because you don't, I know, like, I'm not gonna.
There was a smirk there. He might know the
What?
date.
No,
actually, no. We don't. I wish.
Right.
If I knew the date, you would know the date.
If you had to guess, though, what would you guess? Like, even just a month, if you don't want to pin the date down.
I want to put it in September.
Okay.
Okay.
September's a great month.
Yeah, and I have a couple, like there's a selfish reason to it too. If you're going to wait a year and a half, might as well wait almost 2 years. That gives them more head start on season 3. So maybe the release gap between season 2 and 3 will be a little bit more reasonable, and then they'll hit their stride, and we'll start going at a much better clip than we currently do, or
God, I
than we
hope
did
so.
for season 1.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some of that, and I'm not sure how well shows would do, at the beginning of the summer when everybody just goes off to do everything, except for watching shows. I want the show to do well. So maybe if when at a time September, maybe it'll be a good release. Similar to what they did year 1, and just hoping for that. Yeah.
Like a prime fall release. I like that because at first I was like, I would love it to be in the summer. And then I keep getting more and more things to do in the summer, which is exactly the reason that like the flagship shows don't get released in summer. So I'm like, maybe not. Maybe we wait, even though it hurts. September, August would be fine, but I just don't like the month of August because it's so hot. But September's a great month. So like, okay, I like it. September. Let's, I'll subscribe to that for sure. All right, so based on all of the intel that you've gathered, which is, I know, like, you've got little, like, casting, big casting, Sherium, whatever. We've seen the sizzle reel, and if you want to watch it again, we can watch it again. I've got it pulled up. We've got the season 2 wrap video, which was even earlier. That's when we got the torture wheel first. Omar, give me the plot to season 2.
Oh my god. What a question.
By the way, I'm going to caveat this. You know how I said the group that I work with is we all have individually like different skill sets?
Yes.
I suck at this one in particular. So,
Okay.
so
We'll assume you're not speaking on behalf of WoTSeries when you answer this question.
No, I mean, if I were speaking on behalf of WatchSeries, it'd be much better because, again, if I don't know if you watched Geeky Aries video, the breakdown of season 2, it's amazing. One of her best videos. But my approach to this has always been an exercise in traffic and moving characters around, because it's just from all the things that you mentioned, from the trailer, from where season 1 ended, from where we saw Matt, and everything that we've seen so far. It's just like, how do we get Matt or how do we get the girls to Tarvalon, right? How do we get Perrin out of Feldar? Are we going to open up and see them all there or not? But if I were to look at it, I'm going to say Perrin. He's going to have to reckon with his holy wolfiness at some point. And I think Elias takes the place of Huron as a sniffer, but he's not really sniffing. So he goes on the hunt after Padan Fain. So that's sort of similar to what we see in the books.
Mm-hmm.
The girls do make it back to Tar-Valon, and at the very least, we know that Nynaeve is going to get tested for to be accepted, because I don't know if you remember, there was a casting for her mom.
No,
yeah,
I don't think I remember
What?
that. That's fascinating.
Secrets.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to see her take the accepted test. Whether they repeat the same thing with Elaine and Egwene, I hope not, because that'll be too much. But we should see one, at least see the details of one. So we get that, and then Matt, we know he's in Tar-Valon, and he's gonna have to get out of there. But like I said, in the world of transportation, we need to take all those people and get them back to Falma, where things will end. Because we also saw that Rand is going to be in Karien. We did also report, I don't know if you remember, what's his name? Asain Sundar is the guard at the gate of Karien.
Yeah, I remember you guys reporting on that.
Yeah. So we know Karien is going to be there. Actually, we know 17 Ways to Sunday that Karien is going to be in, because Rosamund Pike talked about it.
She did,
And Rafe one time said 2 out of the 3 are definitely going to be there. So we know it's going to be there. So again, it's just kind of, Rand is going to be somewhat, is going to end up in Karien. Maybe he's going to look for that dragon banner, because we got the horn in the first season. And we didn't, and we know we're going to get, we have the horn. We know we're going to get the heroes of the horn, because we also reported on, Amarisu and Raga Ragnar's in a photo that looked like she's Birgitta. So again, I think the way it's going to play out, there's going to be Perrin on his own until he gets to Falma. The girls with Egwene and Kate Fleetwood or Leandrin, that trickery is going to play out somehow, end up in Falma as well. Matt somehow, maybe with Bail Domon. And Rand is going to go to Karien to figure something out. Like I said, maybe find the banner, maybe figure something else out. And Moraine is going to try to figure out her own thing. And she's obviously going to follow Rand. So we're going to follow those stories. And like I said, my take on it is boring, just transportation. Just how do I get you from point A to point B, just to see Matt blow the horn at the very end, I guess.
Yes.
It makes sense. Now, Kritter, you've stated several times that you believe we're going to get Falma and the Stone.
Well, I've been wrong.
Have you
I could be
changed
wrong.
that?
Are
you changing it?
I've always maintained that locations can be conflated. So I don't know if the vibes in Falma are going to be more like the assault on the Stone, which is possible. But I'm not sure, because like Dragon Reborn, Rafe said that we're going to get plots from books 2 and 3, and it depends on the character for like which plot we're talking about. And I feel like if it would make sense to me, season, if we're going 8 seasons for, well, and Rafe has even said this, that the next season is going to be Shadow Rising, right? And so either the stone falls in the first episode of season 3, or we get something akin to the stone falling in season 2. So Falma might just be like the stone, it might just be like 2 things happening at once, as far as book readers understand. Omar, do you think that's accurate, or what do you think?
Yeah, I just never. Here's the thing. I find it a little bit difficult to pull off. I mean, I would love to see the Stone of Tyr, and I would love to see the Taken of Kalandor. I wouldn't like the Aiel kneeling at the end of that book, but I digress on that. But it's just kind of there's so much going on. Another thing that we didn't talk about on the Perrin timeline, because also we did a story on Perrin and Avienda meeting, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's the Shienarans being captured by the Seanchan, and then there's the White Cloaks attacking the Seanchan. I mean, how do you fit all of that in, and then also get the Tyrants, which, by the way, we have yet to hear. I mean, we haven't really seen any evidence. Not to say it's not there, and anything I say is just based on current knowledge, not, hey, like what I know is what's real. But it's just haven't ever seen anything or any hints or any answers and questions by Rafe to suggest that Tyr is going to be in. It looks like almost too early and too much. And another thing that he mentioned in season 1, if you remember, said, hey, we can only do like 3 big sets, guys. We can't do like that many big cities. So if you look at Falma, there were like a couple of different places. There's like a big castle, and then there's like where the horn is, and then there's the Sun Palace, because we have a servant from the Sun Palace, and we might see Camelin. So it's just really, really difficult to see how they can fit it in. But I mean, they could take some stuff from Tyr and put it into Falma. I agree with that.
I think in if I'm remembering right, and please correct me if I'm wrong, in season 1, during the cold open for Swan, didn't we see the stone in the background, like a big structure?
I think so. Yeah.
Up on high, it looked kind of weird because you imagine it down below. This was like almost like way up in mountains or something, or it was in the distance. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It just
And maybe it will happen. Like maybe that'll be one of the big sets that they reserve for the beginning. Like Dana LaHoo is saying, maybe that's going to happen at the beginning of season 3. Maybe that'll be the big cliffhanger. It's like, okay, now's the time that Rand is going to go take Kalendor. Like we don't know. We also know because of that recent Marcus Rutherford interview that there's going to be a time jump, right, of some kind. And so you talk about transportation. We might not see the girls get taken down to Tar Valon. They might just start the season there, which could be good in a way. Like it, we only have so much time, and sometimes it's better to just get dropped in at the important moments instead of have to deal with getting along the way. Starting on, it's like we don't want Fires of Heaven, which is like 90% travel. Not really, but I mean, kind of. There's a lot of travel. Winespring, what do you think about all this? Like, do you have any plots that you're thinking, you're going to miss, or anything specific you're excited from the sizzle reel or anything?
I'm excited to see Celine/Lanfear.
Okay, here we go. I haven't talked about her yet.
Yeah. And
real quick, spoilers for everybody that's watching. We're full spoilers. Through what book? Or are we going to do
book 3?
Spoilers?
We said, yeah.
Okay, at least book 3. Okay.
Yeah. So, and my first reread, like reading her parts, knowing who she is now, was just absolutely thrilling.
Yeah.
And I really can't wait to see that play out on the screen. Yeah, I want to see her toy with everybody really badly.
Gonna be good.
Yeah. So do you think the bloody being on the sizzle reel was her?
I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe.
I think so.
Do you really? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Like her emerging from the boar or whatever, behind the
Oh
seals.
my god.
If they were in some kind of stasis or whatever, that might be her. It'd be cool. Like so
what an intro.
from the scissor roll, we know we're getting the the social, right? The Darfriend social.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, we get Rand on a wheel.
Yeah, the torture wheel.
The torture
If you're not
which
mistaken.
I think, and I'm not. I mean, I personally think his travel from the Blight on the way to Carrianan is gonna get him to go real close to the Ale Waste or slightly into the Ale Waste, and he might be captured and then let go or whatever. And that might be a part of that. Season 1 for me was broken into 2 parts. Right, there were like 2 acts. You had the beginning and the travel to Tar Valon, and then everything that happened after Tar Valon. Right? So if they continue in that way where they're truncating a lot of the book, which they have to do to put it into a TV show, I can see where the first 4 episodes would be one thing and the second 4 episodes would be a different thing. So is it possible to get Falma and Tyr? Maybe, because I would say that the first 4 episodes would be Perrin traveling with Elias and the Sheernans, following Fane, which lead them to Falma, right? Because he is in the fighting in Falma. You see him off to the side, and you see the Sheernans fighting the Shanshan. Have the ladies heading for Tar Valon. At minimum Nynaeve's testing. And then once at Falma, I don't see where it would have too many episodes in Falma. it would happen, like they would get there and the battle's already going or whatever, and then boom, it happens, and then maybe heading off tier where Rand takes off the tier. Now, how they get, and this is the interesting thing, we know the Sheernans and Perrin are heading for Falma. How Rand ends up in Falma and Matt ends up in Falma is a mystery on how they're going to do it in the show, and I'm excited to find out how. Because what we know is Matt gets captured by what we think we know is that Matt gets captured by the Red, Leandrin, right? Because Moiraine, before she knew who the Dragon Reborn was, of course, sent that little freaking telegraph and said, "Go get that blonde, get curly haired boy and give him a strapping." She didn't know, so it's interesting. I would love to see the Stone of Tyr. The way that the show is moving, I can see where they're going to minimize a lot of the stuff that we really want to see into one episode or two at most.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget though, we know we're getting Carian, which to me means probably not Tyr. Probably not because of the location costs.
Again, but that's traveling for Rand. That's Rand's travels, which could happen in the first 4 episodes as they're cutting back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, we could start with him and Carian, like. Like we wouldn't have to see him get there if there's a time jump. Yeah, like if he's hiding out or whatever, and he just happened to make it there. Obviously, we will want to meet Selene somewhere, but I don't know that we're gonna get,
so amazing.
The portal. I don't think we're gonna get the portal stone because that was like a part of the chasing the horn. So I don't know.
Might already be in Carianan.
Right? Yeah, he could be there after the time jump. I'm not. Who knows?
Selene could already be there. Who knows? Yeah.
Let's see.
I think.
Does that mean we won't get the flicker?
That's the fear. That is the fear.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that would suck. But we think that Rand runs into Min in Carianan.
Min? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
We don't know where she ends up.
Omar, do you know? Is she set for season 2? Like, is she supposed to show up?
She's definitely in season 2.
Okay,
and I think Matt Hatch, Dusty Wheel, did like one of those things where he just found, like, was comparing the background of a shot of Min, because you remember she was in the in one of those sizzle reels.
She was,
and she had
she was.
And I think Matt was looking at. She was like in the same room that Rand was in, like based on their shoulders.
Look,
Could be, not 100% sure, but it looked really.
The lighting was really similar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's in that dark room where he's sitting on the bed or whatever.
It's been so long that I learn things and then forget them.
Yes.
Like, ooh, what's gonna happen?
You don't watch it weekly like we do? No, I'm just
I should, apparently. I really should.
What about a Ludra?
Because
technically we're supposed to, Matt's supposed to run into a Ludra on the way with Tom. Well, in the books, anyways. Remember they save her when she's at that one inn?
Oh,
yes. They save her from getting jumped.
Yeah.
So that's somewhere in there, but I would love to see a Ludra, but I don't know.
But Rand should also see her in Carian. And we also know, again, take this with a grain of salt. We do know that Will Tudor was cast as Barthanes before he had to take off his resume for some time. So there is a Barthanes. There might be an Aludra, if Rand
That'd be amazing.
There. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, here we go. Good. There's Rand. Sorry, I was looking for I was scrolling through to see. So it was something like this, right? This room that I know this is kind of like really blurry. I don't know.
It's really dark. Yeah.
But Rand in this like wooded room with like this window. I remember, and Min looks through the window. That is true. That's what happened. Okay, so Min's definitely in this. I forgot. You forget things.
Basically, it's an inn. I'm gonna just assume it's an inn, right?
He's hiding away, but yeah, no Tom. Though it does look like Tom's coming back for season 3, though, which is exciting.
Because he's in Paris right now. Is that right?
Well, yeah, but I don't think that actually has anything to do with anything. He just happens to be there.
Well, I don't know if.
Kiara, I can't even remember.
Yeah, she's there.
She's there too at the same time, which I thought was
actually. I'm hoping they're not in Paris at the moment because of everything that's going on.
Yeah,
and they got him the hell out of there.
Bad timing. Yeah, bad timing.
Bad timing. And I also love how Rand goes into disguise by shaving his head. It's like Superman. It's like Superman putting on glasses.
I mean, not a lot of people
Like, oh,
have
no.
seen him, right? Like, no one really
No,
knows
yeah.
what he is. No, like no one except
cracks
Moraine,
me
I
up.
guess. And we haven't taled about Moraine and Lan yet either. They obviously
Ooh,
they're
yeah.
on a very personal journey for Moraine to get her mojo back, or whatever you want to call it.
Her mojo. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I want to call it.
Okay.
Ciao.
That's not the best shot of her. Let's
love
try
it.
again.
That's a great
Let's
shot.
try again.
Yeah,
I had to get close and look.
There we go. Land looks very serious. So yeah, they're all
man, right there.
they're freaking out. Yeah, which rightfully so. You know, they don't think that the Dark One was
Just gonna
in
say-
fact defeated.
If he does not win the Grinwell Cup, I'm gonna be really pissed. I'm gonna riot.
Yeah, I think he deserves
Well,
to. If like of the people
so.
that are left, I vote for Lan. I think.
Listen, he went 50 or 49-51 with what's her face. I don't even remember her name. Leanne.
Rain, right?
Liana.
No, it was Leanne. Liana, yeah. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can't even be in the same room with him. Come on.
Yeah. So I guess
All
part of the question for me is if there's going to be this time jump, like it could literally just be like a couple of months, in which case, you know, people won't necessarily have developed much personally, although we know that Rand can get real dark real fast, so maybe that'll be what happens. But Perrin, assuming he meets Avienda, which is a thing that we've, you know, like heard, is he going to be more over his dead wife? You know, like how long is it gonna take? Because I actually didn't watch this video, but I saw him talking about it. Didn't WoTUp say that Fail might actually be in season 2? Do you subscribe to that theory, Omar?
I don't know, honestly. Again, we have a couple of castings that are known without names.
Yeah.
They're public. A couple of them been thought to be Fail, and I know what John, said. And generally, John has good info. But again,
Yeah.
I just find it. If she is in, it's kind of hard to see how Perrin continues on to Falma like the books with Fail. But again, if there is. If we are bringing parts of what happens in Tyr to Falma, then Perrin is working a smithy somewhere, and then he runs into Fail or something. And I just really would like her to call herself Mandarb for
Please.
We have to have that
Please,
moment.
I need that
It's
to happen.
huge loss to not have that moment.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
look.
but I mean, Perrin is like, to me. I'm hoping he's the because he's the one that kind of struggled. He needs to get past his wife, and I think we need to see more wolves. But all things are pointing to we're gonna see the wolves because of Elias being there and being with the group, as opposed to how they met him in The Eye of the World in the first book. He's going to be like my guess, and this is based on nothing, to be honest. But yeah, this is the guy that everybody thinks is a sniffer, but he's like, no, I actually talk to wolves, and I know that you talk to wolves too. But just play along, do what I'm doing, and they'll think that you're just a sniffer with a talent, right? Maybe that's how it plays out. But at least now, to me, I like that setup even better than the books because, Perrin now is freaked out because, he just doesn't understand this. And instead of him just running into a guy that, oh, cool, he runs into a guy and sees him in action after he's had to deal with it for quite some time.
Yeah.
Not like suddenly, because in the books, remember, he sees Elias and all of a sudden, wolves can talk to him. Right?
Yeah, I just read that part, and it was so funny how it was like we all knew, right? Well, I guess on rereads, you're like, well, Perrin can talk to wolves, and it's coming. But then during the reread this time, I was like really paying attention to how it happened, and it was literally just like Perrin shows up, and Egwene's with him, and they're all tired, and then Elias is like, I can talk to wolves, and they say you can too, and then boom, it starts happening. It was so quick, the transition. And this, I do kind of like how gradual it's been and how Elias is being introduced a little bit later after we've got, a little bit of vibe, the vibes. Although I guess technically the books hinted at it a little bit because they said the wolves were acting weird around the two rivers, right? So maybe that's related to Perrin. But it was they're not super obvious, So I'm hoping we get some mentorship, some good, nice, long chats between Perrin and Elias. Although because it's a show, they won't be that long. But I need
Y'all
something.
know I've had issues. I've had issues with the way they've done Perrin dirty, and just the teen wolf aspect of it. Oh, he can hear just a weird sound. Oh, he hears different. Oh, he sees different. Oh, his eyes blink gold for a second. You know,
It's a slow burn.
yeah, it's a super slow burn that's
Yeah.
really itching my craw. But I'm hoping that Perrin gets a bigger, and it looks like he's going to get a bigger role this time. Like
think
the
so,
first
too.
season was Rand and whatnot. I think he's going to get his shot in this one, which is really cool. I think overall my biggest concern for season 2, well, wouldn't be the biggest concern, but it's something that I try to play around with in my head of how they're going to do it, is at the end of season 1, I think we're all in agreement that Moraine got stilled, right?
Shielded.
I'm sorry, shielded. Sorry, yeah,
I was like,
shielded.
nope,
Yeah.
don't agree.
Yeah.
We're not agreeing. Like, I completely disagree.
All right, so no, you're right, shielded. Sorry. How does she get out of that? Because there's a lot of things going on. Like you said, that Avienda and Perrin meet, which is completely not in the books, right? He meets Gaul in the cage or whatever, and the first ones to meet Avienda, I believe, are Elaine and Nynaeve, and I believe was Egwene with them when they met on one of the Guild Maidens was hurt, and they jumped out of a bush in front of him because they knew that they were Aes Sedai or whatever, or they thought they were whatever. Well, how would that play out? Yeah, that's how. Well, they met because they got across the river. They left the boat because the boat got marred down and they had to walk. And Avienda and her little group that had come across the wall run into them.
Yeah, I remember that.
But what is your thoughts on why they would change that to Perrin meeting Avienda first? Season 2.
Please let it not be that Gaul isn't going to be in the show at all.
I'll be really mad. I'll be really mad.
Honestly, I don't know. But if I were, if we're going to introduce Avienda like earlier, just kind of, you have to take a bunch of things that smaller characters do and give them to one character, because Avienda is central and you can't bring her in for a small role. So we might, for all I know, we can reintroduce Gaul later, for example, if he doesn't show up in season 2.
Yeah.
As, a stone dog or the head of a clan or something like that.
Need a mentir or something.
Yeah, but one thing I wanted to add, like a couple things real quick. I've heard this in quite a few places, and it does make sense. We do have a repeating pattern of Elaine, Nynaeve, and Egwene. They go somewhere, one of them or all of them get captured, and then they come out of it. That happens like 2 books in a row, right? So it would make sense if we put those 2 together.
Yes.
Honestly, you don't need that to happen twice. But as far as Moraine, this one I found really interesting. It was from Ari in her video. That maybe Moraine does go to try to figure out, because something similar to Vandine and Edelius, she's going to go figure out her block, or maybe she goes to Varen or somewhere. And then this is the interesting bit. Maybe she finds out through her research how to unblock herself. It needs to be done by a male channeler, and that's what sends her after Rand into Carrion. I really like that theory.
That is a great theory.
If that
That'd be
comes
amazing.
to fruition, that would be really cool.
That'd be amazing, because I would hate for them to take away Nynaeve's thing with unshielding Logain. I want to see that. And
Remember that one time we talked about spoilers? Christ.
Book, that's later in the book.
I said till book 3. Forget.
Maybe nobody heard.
Listen.
Maybe nobody
heard that. Here, I'm going to do this. Nobody heard that. Not the spoil. Well, you know what? We're usually full spoilers.
I know.
Hey, Doc.
I hope that no one was in the chat that didn't know that yet, and hopefully you just didn't hear. Maybe you tuned out while Tavern was talking, like Winespring does sometimes.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. I see her eyes glaze over.
Sorry.
Well, God, I'm looking for a screen cap here of what am I looking for? I was looking for something very specific, and then I forgot, and now I don't know. So you know what? Screw it. Okay, this is fine. Oh, I wanted to read some chat things that made me laugh. First of all, Arosa says, my theory, which I love this theory. Parent's wife was a dark friend about to kill him. When he reacted on instinct, he will learn the truth and get over her. I feel like Rafe has expressly said that that's not true, but I've got my fingers and toes crossed that that was just him messing with us, because I want her to be a dark friend. I think that's the best way for him to just leave that behind him. But I know that they did it so that he would be like, they did that potentially in place of the White Cloak, am I a monster debate, whatever. So maybe she really wasn't a dark friend, but I would love it if she was. So I love that theory. And then also Lumen said, the wheel of time turns and ages come and pass, sizzle reels fade to myth. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's been so long since all this stuff has been coming out that it's like, I see it, I get hyped, I theorize, I like talk, and then things kind of just like fade back into normalcy. And then, all the little details, like the fact that we know that we're going to Kari and just kind of like escape me. And then eventually we talk about it and it comes back to reality. But anyways, sorry.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
What do you all think about, will we see Guitarra Moroso ever? Because I don't know if you remember from the leaked script, that was the opener for season 1, and they took it away. Sounded like it tested badly. Do you think we'll ever go back and get some, prophecy with Guitarra talking to Moraine and Swan?
I would love that.
It would be cool. They'd have to get a super young. Well, I don't know. Would they use the same? They wouldn't use the same girl that they used for Swan as a younger. I guess. I don't know. Would they have to have younger actresses for that, or no?
Maybe.
This is 20. This is like 20 years after that happened.
But they are Aes Sedai, also. So, I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
I would love that, and I think it would be a really good fit as a cold open for some things that happen with Swan in later books.
Yes.
In the Tower. Okay, if you haven't read past book 3, close your ears a little bit. Actually, I think it's like book 5. Close your ears for like 10 seconds. Okay, it would be a great cold open for whenever the coup like actually happens, I think, because like it's the reason that they've been doing all these things that are illegal or whatever. You know what I mean? I hope we get it personally. That would be lovely. I think it's a perfect cold open opportunity. But if that was going to happen and it tested badly, maybe they just thought it was confusing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They wanted to see Moraine put on the suspenders and the jacket. Which I like that opening, by the way.
Funny.
I know some people didn't.
That was amazing.
No,
Yeah,
I liked it. It's part of my inspiration. Like, that outfit is the one that I'm cosplaying this year. So
Can't wait to see it.
pretty excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have been
I've
sprinting.
been following those videos. Yeah.
Yeah, because C2E2 is this weekend, and at first I was like, we're going to do it for JordanCon, and then I got tickets for C2E2, and I was like, but what if we did it for that? And so it's been like every waking moment I've been just sewing. Like, it's been a problem, but it's been fun. I've never done this stuff before, and it feels like it's going to be like the coolest like thing I've ever created, probably.
Yeah.
And we're so
excited.
close.
Be
Like,
proud of it. It's a lot of work.
I'm really
Super
proud of
excited to see it.
Yeah.
tomorrow night Aurelia's coming over for like hopefully the final sew together. So
Wow.
Ooh.
It's the final showdown.
I literally sang it's the final countdown. We were at the gym before this, me and her, and I sang that to her as we got to our cars. So yes, same vibes. Like, that's exactly how it feels. And you know what? Actually, let's take a brief pause in the season 2 discussion, Omar, to mention that you are one of the WatCon builders, right? So, well, I know I don't have to confirm with you because I know this. You're the website guru, right? And so, are you planning to attend WatCon, I assume?
Yes, WatCon, I will definitely be there. If anything, you should know this, Cincinnati chili. That's the only reason I agreed to do this. I come for the Skyline chili and, the good people, but Skyline chili first. But yeah, I will be there. It's exciting. It's always nice to do it for the second year. Loved being there the first year. It was just so nice. I love JordanCon, but this was smaller and more personal. Michael Livingston, you were there when at OgierCon. He was amazing. Just by the way, reading the book, he just shines as a wonderful person. You can totally get it. So him being a guest, Kate Redding and Michael Kramer coming back, and this year also we're going to have. Hopefully, we broadcast all the panels live last year. We're going to do that, but hopefully we'll do it better this year. And there's going to be a better virtual experience this year on the website. So again, super, super, super excited.
Yeah, it's going to be lit. Are you also going to JordanCon?
I am booked, but I might not make it this year.
No.
So.
That's too bad.
We hope to see you, but if you can't, obviously,
Yeah.
looking forward
we'll
to WatchCon.
You know, I like Matt Coffin, and maybe you all be at Marillo or do your thing, and I'll meet you later. So.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds
Nice.
good. It's very Matt Coffin of you. It's fitting. We're just Maria Simons will also be a guest, Angela, who has mentioned.
Yes.
So yeah, she was great down also at OgierCon. She was so lovely, and she was at JordanCon at least last year. Was she also at WatchCon? I don't think so.
Yeah, she was at
She was.
WatchSeries.
She was.
Oh,
Yeah.
duh. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Like last year was my first year of going to any cons. So it's all just like, it all just kind of blurs together. Like it's all one experience and it was incredible.
She was my dinner partner for both nights. So it was great.
That's
that's
awesome.
cool.
She's awesome.
She's
Yeah.
so cool. I love her. Okay, back to season 2. Sorry, that was a little aside about the cons that are coming up because the con hype train is super high. We just we, as in Tavern, just designed the Wheel and Chill ribbons. So hopefully
The
those
con ribbons?
come in on time. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so we
I have questions for Omar.
yeah.
Season 2, if that's okay. I don't know what you were going to say.
Sorry?
Do it.
I kind of cut her off again. Damn it.
I want you to go. Go.
What are your theories on for season 2 on characters that you think they will combine?
Oh. I'm gonna expand that to season 3 too, just because I'm curious. Like if you have forward-looking projections.
Wow.
Yeah, this is not a serious answer, but I think they're going to combine.
That's fine.
They're going to combine Min's 3 aunts into 2, because
Are we even going to see that?
we are. We found two actresses that are going to be like they're going to play Min's aunt, and so in the books there are 3, but for the show so far we only have 2. So that's a quick answer that popped into my head.
I'll be honest. I'd be happy with 1.
Yeah, but it looks like we're going to have 2 of them. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Anybody else?
I just want to go on the record to say that I do not think that Shiriam and Varen are being combined because I know that was the discourse this week, and I simply don't believe it.
They're not.
Omar's saying no.
Leandrin and Elida.
I trust.
I can almost say 100% they won't be.
Okay.
I'm still up in the air about
You heard it here
Leandrin and
first.
Elida.
Leandrin and Elida. See, I still think Elida and Alviarin would be the better. Or Leandrin and Alviarin would be the better
Alviarin?
combo.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, I want to see Elida. I don't know if I really care to see Alviarin. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Elida, okay, I do have to plug this. I'm going to be on 5 panels of JordanCon, which is absurd. But the one I'm probably, don't tell other people that are on the other panels, but the one I'm looking forward to the most is going to be the prosecution of Elida.
Yes.
Part of the reason I'm working so hard on my Moraine cosplay is because I'm going to be dressed and acting as Moraine, and I will be prosecuting Elida. So I'm like planning my case against her, and it's going to be... I'm not going to say why I'm prosecuting her because spoilers, but I will say that I am, and it's going to be really fun. So it is on.
I need everyone
you
to
up
come
against?
join me in the audience and fangirl out hardcore for Kritter.
I'm going to watch virtually, but who are you up against?
Are you familiar with Wheel of Cussin?
Yes.
Oh my
I've
god.
heard, yeah.
Yes, we're
Are
both.
they going to be? Do you know if they're going to be cosplaying, or are they just going to be there as Wheel of Cousin?
Probably just like themselves.
I'm just going to tell you, your cosplay might just. I mean, your cosplay and your ability to prosecute people, because I was there for the Gowan thing.
Well, he's also an attorney, so this is going to be a little bit more of like a
so it's
slugfest.
So it's not going to be. You're not going to be going up against a drunk puppet guy, huh?
Wow. No, they did really well. People just hate Gawain.
But that was hilarious.
A drunk puppet guy.
That was incredible. That was so much fun. So
much fun.
okay, so Sith Guy says I'm still thinking Tanchico and Falma get combined. And yes, Hybrid Havoc, that is indeed my profession. it occasionally comes up. And in this context, it makes sense because I'm prosecuting Elida, and I'm, maybe I'll object with a legitimate objection, unlike on TV shows. We'll see.
You got the good lawyer vibes going too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
For sure.
Well, I was a communication major in undergrad, so like I also at one point thought I was going to do media stuff, and here I am. So it all just works out, right? It's like
you have your kingdom.
It's like a wheel, right? Because I'm doing lawyer stuff in my media realm, and then also just in my real whatever. It doesn't matter. So Falma and and Tenchiko. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about that little combo?
Are they okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
It's like what Omar said earlier. You had 2 books in which they both got, they got captured. You don't need to see it twice. You have 2 books in which they go to cities on their own to do something that could easily be combined into one as well, which would make sense. It would totally take a chunk of time out of the books, for sure.
Yeah.
The question is, each one of them had their own little thing going on, so how much can you really mix? Are they going to find what they're looking for in Tenchiko or in Falma instead of Tenchiko? I mean, how are you going to do that?
I think we can just completely eliminate the Bowl of the Winds if that's what you're talking about. We don't have to say what it is. But just that it exists. Okay. And, if we got rid of that plot, like, fine. I won't be that mad. Honestly, it's like if we get rid of the kin, I know it's a cool piece of. I'm sorry.
You would get rid of the kin?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I mean, maybe. No. Well, think about it, because we don't want to get into spoilers, but there are several sects of women that are not Aes Sedai that can channel, and I'm not gonna say who all they are, but there are multiple groups of them, and so I know at one point it becomes relevant. Like, oh, maybe we should all talk sometimes, right? Like, what good what good is the kin necessarily when there are other people to be in that conversation with the Aes Sedai? That's all I'm saying. And I guess
you just brought to continue.
No, I was pretty much done. You go.
You just brought to mind, it's very Harry Potter-esque what you just said. Basically, the kin are, equate to house elves where they're there, you see them on occasion, but then you don't hear about it, and then all of a sudden they show up at the final battle with frickin' cleavers and shit. That's what I'm getting right now.
Kind of. It's just kind of like how important were they to the overall plot? Think about it. Not that important.
I really liked the kin.
I did. I enjoyed the kin. That whole
thing was good. Oh.
Okay.
They were a retirement plan, is what they were. So
yeah,
they were a retirement plan. It's true.
I like they're like a backup for the Aes Sedai's failure. I think
that was an interesting element. Yeah, what happens when people fail the White Tower? Essentially, can't cut it. Yeah, JSC says Tenchiko seems like it might be cut entirely. Right I think it's a really good point. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this, where we can't have all the different plots of the girls going on side quests for various reasons, right? I prefer the Black Aja quest, I think, the hunting.
There's no Black Aja.
Well, right, there is no Black Aja. Over the Bowl of the Winds, but it both of them had fun stuff that happened in them, and so that can, in my mind, can probably be take the highlights from both of them and just squish them together, put them together, and then that's that. Perfect, easy.
It'll encourage everybody to go and read the books. If they want more,
yes,
they'll just read the whole series.
So if you feel like that about Tenchiko, how do you feel about Abu Dar? Which comes after the stone, of course. I think it comes after the stone, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's gonna play out.
It's a fun place.
It is.
I don't know. I feel bad sacrificing anything, because everything that's sacrificed takes away from the world building, right? At one point I said get rid of the sea folk, I don't care, but it feels like Rafe has kind of hinted that the sea folk are actually going to be in it.
Here they come.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I am so excited for that.
Yeah.
And
such a cool culture.
And yeah, there's so many different cool cultures in Abu Dar, and so I mean, that feels like a good second location or whatever for I don't know, the Shanshan. I'm not sure. It's possibilities are endless, man. Omar, what do you think?
I mean, Abu Dar, that's where the Shanshan would eventually end up. So
right, yeah.
And if you take it maybe a season 6 or something like that, it could play later. unless they maintain their foothold in where they're at right now. They're in Falma, because
Right.
it's kind of weird. Like they left there and they're still strong, and they came back and they picked another spot. Totally get that, but maybe they'll come back to the same spot. Another thing too, the reality of building sets and the like, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where they
Reality.
where they filmed in Morocco, there, some of those, like in the Atlas Studios and some of these places, they're there. You can use them. You have experience there. So maybe it makes sense to just keep that where they come back later.
Yeah.
Mm.
So do you think Rand on the wheel, I just put that up on the screen because why would we not? We're talking
We
about
have
season
to.
2. Do you think this is in the Aiel Waste, or do you think it's close to Falma? Because it is kind of like deserty, right?
Maybe it's a dream.
It's possible.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Dream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's possible. I mean, okay, so
Well,
things
let
so
him
far that
explain
we've
himself,
seen-
Tavern. He hasn't even finished.
Oh, yeah,
his
go ahead.
Thought. Christ.
I just
Whoa, whoa.
like I'm just kind of it's. I mean, who sets up a wheel and a throne in front of it somewhere? It's and
Is there a throne in front of it?
I think there is.
Probably.
Somebody was sitting on. Yeah, but again, who like it's just kind of odd that it's just there. And I think if you remember, he's like surprised at his like he's handcuffed, right?
Yeah.
Or it looked like it. So to me, it is very possible that he wakes up there. It's a dream that Celine pulled him in or something like that.
Ooh.
Okay, Tavern, you go ahead now.
Do
Sorry.
it, Celine.
Okay, so I don't hate that theory. What we've seen of dreams so far have been very kind of misty and kind of, they have a very certain look to them. This looks really clear. And my thoughts on this were that as he, once he leaves the Eye of the World, again, he travels the mountains to get to Carrianan or whatever. These might be wheels that Aiel have set up because they punish people that come into the waste without permission. And so this might be a punishment wheel of some sort for trespassing. That's just my thought. Of course, he's got his head shaved, so we don't know when that happens. Unless he's walking down through the mountains just with a knife, I don't know. It's possible it could be a dream.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking of it, I think that I like the dream idea a lot because it's like he's on a wheel. How symbolic,
Very
are you
intriguing.
gonna
Yeah.
get? Like the symbolism here is just kind of overwhelming. Plus, yeah, he did seem surprised, and so I could totally see him just waking up and being like, "Where am I?" And then Lanfear sitting on a throne, being like,
Just extra.
"What's good, dragon?"
Yeah.
But
What's
Missed you, babe.
yeah, oh hello, Luce Theron, or something like that. So,
I just say how ripped this dude is right now in that picture. Holy hell.
yeah, he looks great. Good for him.
No joke. He looks
Good-
amazing.
Good
Yeah.
for him. Let's see. So we've talked about Rand a little bit. We've talked about Perrin. Egwene is gonna get captured. We haven't talked a ton about the Shan Chan, but it feels like they're like, at least their costumes look frickin' incredible. I'm trying to pull this picture up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yes, here we go. This crazy helmet, like, whoa. I don't know. I'm equal parts looking forward to seeing them on screen and dreading it because of what they do to my girl Egwene. So, yeah.
It's like
I
you want to
really-
see her learn and overcome at the same time.
I know, it's sad.
It's going to be a really good episode.
By the way, I like the costumes in season 1 by Isis Musandan, but Sharon Gillam, who came into season 2, I think she turned it up a notch. I mean, like especially with the Shan Chan stuff, it's amazing. Their armor and there are ones that have the golden
Incredible.
helmets and they have like extra stuff.
Yes.
I don't know much about uniforms, but that stuff was off the hook. It looked like Death Watch Guard. Really, really cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
completely.
And I believe there was what was the Ogier
Loyal?
gardener? No.
Oh, the gardener,
I believe
yeah.
there's a gardener in that sizzle reel
Was there?
dragging somebody by the legs. Yeah.
Like in the background or
Yeah.
something. Like, yeah,
Okay.
I remember.
Like it's the scene where there's fighting and whatnot, and it
Okay,
looks like
yeah.
there's a gardener grabbing somebody by the legs and just yanking them down the street.
Speaking of fighting, though,
Yeah.
we haven't talked much about Nynaeve, and I feel like we need to. Like, I love the idea that we're gonna get to see her accept a test. It would be really cool to me because of the time jump, and because in the book she gets tested almost immediately, right? That happens almost immediately. I think that can make for a really cool and like,
Oh my gosh.
you know, it
Looks
could
like
it
they're
could
using
hook
light
people.
So
flares.
cool.
And so why in God's name is she fighting with swords? Do you think this is part of the accepted test? Like, why would they train with swords?
Maybe she's, I mean, I'm thinking maybe, and again, I can't remember, this is probably not an original thought. Sorry, I can't attribute it to anybody, but maybe she suffers a block after what happened at the end of season 1 with almost dying. Ooh. And now she needs to figure out a way to fight because you got to protect yourself somehow. Not that she ever was channeling to protect herself, but now that you had this big weapon, now you lose it. You just want to be not reliant on the power alone because I'm naive and I can also cast with and I can use a sword as well. Yeah. So maybe they take that route. That'd be kind of cool if we can see that.
I agree. That. I think this is a block. Mm-hmm. She's got a block, and they're either training her to fight or they're testing her to see, by attacking her to see if she can pass the block.
It's part of trying to work the block out. That could be cool too.
Like piss her off, basically.
Basically,
knock her around a little bit.
That looks like. I mean, I can't tell because it's swirly and shit, but it looks like Maxim back there. So
yeah, I'm not sure. I think
can't tell who it is, but I think it looks like him.
The long blonde hair makes sense. It checks out. And then we have Matt. We haven't talked a ton about him other than the fact that he needs to blow the horn because that's not Perrin's job, that's Matt's job. But we also saw him in the sizzle reel, and I'm looking for it now, fighting with quarterstaff, or at least that's what we thought. Oh, also crying. Sad boy Matt. So Donald Finn will be joining season 2.
The finger's on fire,
which is really exciting. And then, do we think it was him in that like quarterstaff fighting scene? Are we gonna get him fighting with a certain boys in the warder training grounds? How do we feel
about
that?
Amazing.
We need that scene for sure. Yes.
I mean,
if we got it. I'm not sure. Didn't Rafe say something that might be deferred? I'm not sure about the exact wording. But I would love to get it. I love that scene, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get it.
Yeah,
I mean, we got it. We got the story in the origins.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would hate to not see it. I do think that's Matt. And I mean, if Omar, unless Omar has secrets that he's not telling us, which again, understandable. But
he's actually seen the entire season.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I haven't heard or seen anything. Yeah, I haven't seen or heard anything about a Gowan or a Galad casting.
Yeah.
So he would. I mean, if anybody would know, he would know. But if they come across that, but I don't think we're gonna get it.
But we did see there was a Gowan tape that we wrote an article about, an audition tape for Gowan.
Oh, okay.
Right, but they haven't. We don't know if they've cast him.
They must have. You don't. I mean, when they're casting, let's say they put out a casting call and they get the self tapes and the like. That's not a year out. I mean, Gowan is a big character, but not like a Moraine character or Rand type of character.
Yeah.
So I think somebody like Gowan would be like 6 to 10 weeks out kind of casting. So I would be very, very, very surprised if Gowan is not in the second season.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know of a casting of him, but again, we do know that somebody submitted a self-tape, read a script that was written for Gowan, and there's just no way that's a season 3 type of thing.
Did it go like this? I like crayons.
I like Gowan almost as much as John from What Up likes Gowan. I just think I'm a Gowan stan. I think the guy he's the anti-Tavern. That's his problem.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Yes.
The pattern has been conspiring to like ruin this guy's life. All his life.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did that to himself.
Okay.
Just gonna throw that out there.
I like that.
Tom De Simone in the chat says, I kind of hope they combine Gowan and Galad. Omar, with your love for Gowan, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's just kind of like Galad is so symbolic to a lot of scenes and everything else, and he has a part to play. So I would keep them both.
I would too.
I don't think they're going to combine. Yeah.
Okay. Without getting into spoilers, I don't see them doing that only because it would really screw up a couple of love interests there.
Yeah.
Some relationships
sure.
would totally get screwed up if they did that.
Yeah, I think a couple things are really important about Galad. If I were to cut one of them, I'd cut Gawain. but he's also
Absolutely.
like debatably important too. So whatever.
It's like the skin tag. He's on the skin tag on the spine of the books. That's what he is. It's what Gowan is. Let's just snip him off.
Oh my gosh. What a visual. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Great job.
I don't know, Tom. I like Galad's arc. I think Galad has an awesome arc. Like, I could not stand him early because he's a snitch and snitches get stitches. And then, but later, like, he really redeems himself, and you love to see that.
Redemption stories? Yes.
Yes, please, always. And also, he's like and I'm not going to say why, the like Inigo Montoya of the Wheel of Time. You know what I mean? Like, he's just got a mission. He's got a mission, and I love that for him.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Gowan is the Brute Squad.
Somebody asked, it might have been Sith Guy asked, if we think that the dagger stuff is done. Do we think Matt has been fully purged of the dagger? I hope not. Just because the dagger is so goddamn evil that if Moiraine could do it by herself, it just feels less cool, especially if Fane is gonna, well, obviously Fane is tied to it. And so I think it diminishes it too much if Moiraine can handle it by herself.
Yeah, because in the books, they all
a 10
come together and do a circle.
sisters.
You have to do it.
Yeah,
that's right.
do it.
Yeah, that'd be quite the scene.
I think I don't think the Moiraine severance with the dagger is going to be enough. To start there.
Same.
I think there has to be something else. But also remember, this was because of the departure of Barney Harris. This put him in a very awkward spot because Matt has no business being in Tar Valon right now. Yeah. So it's kind of like he's there. Right. You could heal him, but he's going to leave, and then he's going to come back, and you're going to heal him again, kind of thing. I'm really not sure how they're going to handle that. They have a tough decision to make. Do we, and obviously they made this decision already. They filmed season 2. Do we heal him and he's on his way right now? He doesn't have to come back to get that, to be severed from the dagger? Yeah. Or does he come back in season 3 and have to go through that?
I was under the impression that Moiraine kind of healed him, but then while everybody else was prepping, he was being healed.
While everyone else was
season 1.
In season 1.
But he still looks...
I mean, in my head, I thought that's what was happening. Because they were cutting so many things and stuff. I was like, well, all right, Moiraine kind of killed him. But then when we got introduced to the yellows, in my head, I was thinking, okay, maybe they're already doing that behind the scenes. They're not going to show it because they've kind of shown the healing. But he's got more healing. I don't know. It's possible.
But again, and I think, again, maybe they had some intent towards that at some point. But remember, I think those episodes when Moiraine heals him, that was before COVID, and then stopped.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
True. And then, when they came back to film for the summer, Barney Harris didn't come back, so they had to change things, and they had to leave him back in Tar Valon, and now he's darker. Remember that final shot that we see of him there?
Yeah.
Going back into Tar Valon,
yeah, maybe he's back to the darkness or something. So I still, my opinion on this is that I think they still have to do some healing to him or something. As to whether they're going to do that once or twice or do it or defer it till season 3, I don't know. But I don't think he's severed from the dagger yet.
Amazing. I agree. Okay, so speaking of Matt, really quick, I promised some stickers on Twitter today. So
stickers.
I'm going to be giving away a Feelin' Lucky Punk sticker. It is a design that I made. It's available on my Redbubble. But also, I'm going to give a sticker away today. And if you're going to JordanCon, then I'll bring it to you then. Otherwise, I will happily mail it to you if you're willing to give me your address. So I'm going to open a giveaway right now. And we'll give you like 5 minutes or so. I'll give you a warning before it's over. Let me see. Did it get out? Yeah, Agnibot saying giveaway for sticker has started. If you're going to join, you type !raffle, no spaces, and you can be entered. So... yay.
Can't do it.
This is, honestly, of all the designs that I've done, I feel like this one is the most aesthetically pleasing. Like, I feel like the other ones are fun, but this one is just cool because it's like the fox head.
I like them all.
I mean, I like them all, but this one is just like, I just like it, again, aesthetically. So whoever wins the raffle wins the sticker. Get excited. All right, so.
Got some entries coming in.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, look at
I'll
this.
just say, while that's happening, I have to say on the Matt Dagger storyline, I hope it doesn't stretch into season 3. They need to finish it in season 2.
No, they need to nip that. Yeah.
Okay.
It can't go more than an
That'd be
episode
way
or 2,
too
I would
long.
say.
Yeah.
He's in Tarvalin. Like, it feels so optimal to just get that out of the way. Maybe the sisters who have him captured or whatever are going to be like, this kid can't channel, but there's something going on, and they'll figure it out, and then they'll heal him, right? Maybe. Fingers crossed. And then we could still get the plot where he escapes, right? Because he's got to get out of there to meet up with everybody at Falma, and we could get that, well, even if it's not the way we want it to with the quarterstaff scene, because I do recall Rafe being like, you know, for something so iconic, we have to do it just right and whatever. So I feel like maybe it's not happening in season 2.
Come on, Rafe.
Just get it done.
You can do it. We believe in you.
So he's got to get out of there, and I think hopping a ship with Domon would be the perfect way out. I think that's a really fun way to do it.
I'm missing my Doman. Sure. Should have been in, but you know, whatever. But that's fine.
He'll be back. He's here. He's gonna be there. He's cast.
I know, but it's a whole different vibe, you know, in the books where they're going down the river and doing their stuff to
so
watching
fun.
Rand and Matt cross the mountains and Matt and Rand telling jokes. You know, it was fun, but it wasn't that Matt and Rand traveling companion thing that you love so much, Kritter.
Yeah. Okay.
From the stories, I really love that.
I do love the Matt and Rand Road to Camelin like plot. It's a good one. All right, I'm going to give it one more minute on the giveaway. Exclamation point, raffle, no spaces. And then for some reason, it won't show the results, but I'll click the results and let you know who won. I promise I'm not lying.
I didn't enter because I didn't want to win. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome to. This is your guy.
No, you knew I would win, right?
Probably.
I mean, I've entered before. It's our stream.
You know, I won that green dice cup at
I
WatchCon,
know.
right?
That's yes. I'm so
Nice.
jealous of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually telling Mr. Kritter the other day because at one of our friendly local game shops, there's this guy. Oh, by the way, I have overshare moments every stream, and here we go. This weekend, we were at our friendly local game store, and there's this local leather company that has like, you know, actually, this is something I've gotten from them. It's a snappable dice rolly thing, right? But it's Wheel of Time.
All right.
So how cool is that?
Very
But
cool.
they have little dice bags. They've got journals, whatever. And I was telling Mr. Kritter that it's like my life goal to get something from Treon because everything that she does is just like beautiful and gorgeous and incredible. So, well, anyways, I'm going to keep my fingers and toes crossed forever that I win something from her at some point. Just have to keep going back until it happens.
I only read books. I only read books to use the bookmark that she sent me. So.
That is that's beautiful, gorgeous. All right, so we are going to close the giveaway right now, and I'll let you know who won. Closing giveaway, and then picking winner.
Woo.
Pedron Naya. Wow, we got a white cloak up in the chat.
What?
All right.
Okay, Pedron.
Pop a light. Light wins the sticker.
If you are going, well, DM me either way. If you're going to be at JordanCon, let me know, and I'll bring you your sticker there. Otherwise, hit me up with your address. I'm Megwayne Elvira on Twitter, or you can find me at CritterXD. So, or if you're in my Discord and I can't remember, you could also hit me up on there. So, congratulations! We are going to give away one more in a little bit of just a few minutes, and that one is going to be my bitches get shit done one in honor of the girlies at the Wheel of Time.
Nice.
All right, so we've talked about Egwene, we've talked about Nynaeve, Perrin, Matt, Rand. We're pretty good. What about any side plots? Okay, here's the question. When are we going to find out Mira, Sayal, and when are we going to find out officially that those two are Elida and Varen? because that's what I'm betting
Tomorrow.
on.
They're just gonna let us know tomorrow.
You mean Natasha O'Keeffe?
Thank you. Yes, Natasha O'Keeffe and Mira Sile.
Natasha O'Keeffe. When they made the announcement at Comic-Con in New York, my first thought right away when I saw Natasha O'Keeffe was Lanfear, right? And then I was everybody else was saying Elida, or other things, so I forgot about that. And then I was stuck with other theories. But it looks like, based on the teaser video and the body double that was doing the blood scene, that I'm starting to think that Natasha is going to be Selene.
Really?
Yeah,
So I'm here for it.
So Mira then might be Varen. Those are my best guesses. I don't have inside information on those, but that would be my guess.
Okay. I think I've been influenced by, there's this photo of Natasha in this like kind of old-timey red outfit, and she like just looks like really serious. And when I saw that, I was like, Elida. Like, that is our Elida right there. But obviously she's gorgeous, so she could easily play Selene. Easily.
I thought she was the Shanchan. What was her name?
Suroth? No, I don't think that's
Suroth.
I don't think so.
No, that's Karima McAdams, I think, is playing
Yeah.
Suroth.
Okay.
People did like face
They did a
comparisons.
lot of that. Yes.
It's the thing
beautiful.
we do, because we do as Wheel of Time fans.
Yeah. Well,
We do many weird things.
as many things as we can figure out, we will figure them out. Not me. I just watch and I'm amazed by you all,
right.
and then talk about it. But
It's just, Matt Hatch unblurs text from scripts, for God's sakes.
Pretty wild.
Do you remember those? Yeah,
I do. That was so funny.
Good old days.
Yeah, and I have noticed, like, if he's out there and hears about this, I have noticed that every time somebody talks about the season 2 release date, he's always like, but what about August and September? Like, and so I'm just like, he knows something, and he's trying to get us to like hold on to our horses and like chill out, because it's not happening anytime soon. So I see you, Matt. I know what's up. Like, I don't have any inside information, but if you do, I bet you do. Anyways, so I'm so suspicious of people. Like, oh my God, what are you not telling me? It's fine though. It's fine. I just love hearing things whenever they happen. So, all right, let's do the bitches get shit done stuff, shall we? Let's do this giveaway really quick. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna reset the thing. Reset it. Yes. Okay. Open giveaway. Y'all have a few minutes to enter that. Okay. So, side characters. So we're thinking that Moiraine's going to meet up with Varen, perhaps, to kind of figure out some like lore about shielding and whatnot, and male channelers, perhaps. Does that sound about like she's going to replace Vandine and Adelius, essentially?
Maybe, maybe not. What if Lubna Kerr, there's another actress that was in Italy, said, went to Italy, was treated like a queen, and on her resume it says sister, literally just sister.
I remember hearing that.
So maybe we do get Vandine and Adelius after all. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. Okay. That would be cool, because I feel like later on they have like kind of a, well, not fun, but they have an interesting plot. It's like it could be a good way to, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but
Yes.
But it's a good way to get closer to Aes Sedai, I think. I feel like the series is doing a really good job of humanizing them in some way. Moiraine in the books, especially the first book, just feels like this pillar of wisdom and, beauty, right? Whereas in the show, while Rosamund Pike is a pillar of wisdom and beauty, she's also a person. You get her intimate moments with Swan and all that stuff, and it's just like, you end her vulnerable moments with Lan. And so I like that we're getting that side of the Wheel of Time. I like that Rafe really likes the Aes Sedai, and that we get to see more of them, because I think they're great. But
on a side note, watching a video, I want to say it was yesterday, the day before, of Rosamund Pike testing out a theory on how to break open a pineapple in chunks that Rafe taught her was freaking amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. It was incredible.
By the way, that was just a plug. That was in our Facebook group.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know where I saw it online, but I don't remember where I saw it. I don't know if it was on your stuff or not, but it was incredible. We think, and I'm trying to remember where this happens, because there's just so many things in the books. At what point? Cover your ears for spoilers, just in case. I don't remember what book this is.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
20-second earmuffs.
Spoiler alert.
Where do they visit the steading and we get the whole Irith thing?
That was in the second book.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, so we're still in the books. All right. Do we think that's going to happen, or do we think any kind of, I don't know if the Irith thing is going to happen, but do we get a steading and more Ogier?
Interesting. I haven't thought about that. I don't know. We do. I mean, Loyal's. By the way, speaking of transportation, I'm not sure. Did we cover how Loyal makes it out all over? Like I don't.
No, we have not talked about that.
Because we know. By the way, he ends up being tied with ropes at some point and being pulled and tugged by. But might be Shan Chan, and that's like I think one of the in the sizzle reel.
Yeah.
Or the behind the scenes. But he makes it to a place that looks a lot like where Uno and the Shinarans and the rest get captured with Perrin. So I don't know if he is with them or if they meet there somehow.
I want to say that what I recall from the screenshots and the sizzle reel, there's that whole thing where Perrin is with Elias and the Shanchan, and you have the fade on a wall or the fade on a door. I want to say he's with them because why wouldn't he travel with them? He wouldn't travel on his own, Falma, which would be weird. But I would think he's with that group, so I would see him going with Perrin, and he travels with Perrin a lot in the books. So
true, but he was hurt at the end of the season, so we.
No, I know he was stabbed. He was stabbed with them.
We still got to figure out. He died, but it's okay. Anybody who died because of COVID, anybody who died in season 1 gets a pass. So
yeah,
we might see Aglomar again at some point. But yeah.
Oh Lord.
But Carrie joined just in time for the raffle, and
no
now
kidding,
we definitely know. Now we definitely know that we have to keep our spoilers on Q and T's.
Yes. Everyone be cool.
Yes, Tavern.
Yeah, Tavern.
What?
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely recall, was Loyal not in the photo of them with the fade nailed to the door?
I think there was several pictures, and I don't remember. There was a group of them like walking toward what looked like a waygate in like palm trees.
Mm-hmm. Well, either way, like he clearly meets up with them at some point because he's in this photo with them all right now.
Yeah, he's captured there for sure.
yeah, they got him. They've got him for sure. But
that armor is so sick.
I know.
Yeah,
so
it is.
sick.
I know. I feel like they really nailed the like insectile kind of vibe with like the carapace along the back and stuff. Like so cool.
Yes.
So cool. All right, I'm going to close the raffle in like 30 seconds to account for the delay. So if you haven't done it yet, exclamation point raffle, no spaces. No spaces, materials, Dan. You put a space in there.
Called
That's
out.
something that we can talk about.
Okay,
we come back from the raffle. That might either make her happy or make her really sad. I don't know.
All right, we'll watch spoilers.
It's not spoilers. It's from season 2. We saw it in the sizzle reel.
Okay, what's up?
Gwen screaming.
Yeah.
You want to discuss this?
Which, I mean, she's gonna get captured by the Shanchan. Like, what are we gonna do about that? There's nothing we can do. It's part of her journey. It's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Madeline Madden to flex her acting muscles.
Yeah, she's gonna freaking
Gonna
be
crush
awesome.
it.
Yes.
To be honest with you,
didn't Rafe say there was a really good scene with Rena and Egwene?
Mhm.
Yes, that's one of his
Yes,
favorite.
like one of them
like
he's
one of his
looking
favorite
forward to.
ones to shoot or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So amazing.
they have to. It has to be like experience for her. Needs to at least encompass 3 episodes or 4.
I don't know if it's
To
gonna
really
go
sink.
4. I'm
don't think
thinking.
it-
I'm
no,
thinking
because-
Way
like
too many.
2.
No, listen, it's
Yeah.
a horrible experience, but I think to really cement it, to give her, because you're chopping back and forth between different scenes and different characters, they really have to like punch it into you that this is a horrible thing, right? So three episodes minimum really give her the ability to just shine in that.
Maybe as long as like the third episode is when she escapes.
Like, well, of course.
First episode she gets captured.
There's so much that happens.
Yeah,
I'm talking about start to finish. I'm talking about start to finish. 3 episodes, maybe 4. It would be pretty awesome.
All right. I'm gonna close the giveaway now. Not as many people entered, so part of me is like, is this a shitty sticker? No, it's a great sticker. I love this. I have a sweatshirt with this design because I love it so much. All right, I'm closing the giveaway. I'm picking a winner. And the winner is Lee Science. Congratulations, Lee Science.
Hey.
DM me your deets, or just let me know you're coming to JordanCon and I'll bring it for you.
Oliver's ears. Elaine needs to learn and suffer.
Oof.
Oh, Elaine. We haven't even talked about her at all.
Wait. We haven't talked about Elaine. That's true.
I forgot. You never think of, like she wasn't even in season 1. So let's...
Oliver, did you mean Egwene or Elaine? I'm confused right now.
Oh. That's a good point. You did say Elaine. All right, so let's round this out by talking about Elaine here. Basically, where you're going to get, presumably, we're going to meet her in Tarvalon, and then she's going to go try to rescue, or no. She won't get captured whenever Egwene gets captured, and her and Nynaeve will try and rescue Egwene, right? That's about how it goes.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
So
I'm going to Jordan.
What?
Oh, Lee Science is like, yeah, I'm going to JordanCon.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so Oliver meant Egwene.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I was confused.
Kind of dark.
Elaine must suffer in the tower.
She needs to suffer.
Knock her peg. Well, okay, so like, I guess another thing about this is if we think season 2 isn't coming out until like the fall, perhaps, are we finally going to get those gosh dang clips that they showed at New York Comic Con?
The Auric? Oh, those.
No.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I just it sounds like, and again, this is me asking Lane and other people. This is how cons get people to go. They get exclusive. So.
Yeah, but I mean,
good point.
They released the WatCon one,
Yeah,
and the JordanCon or the Comic Con one was well before WatCon.
Yeah, but our WatCon one was a nicety from production to us to the fans versus, hey, we're a huge Comic Con. We're giving you this huge, presence, and we want people to come here, and we want to give something extra to the people who paid a lot of money to be here, kind of thing. And two, by the way, I mean, I think this happens quite a bit, but it's generally doesn't happen where you see a clip, you have to wait 1.5 years for it to come out. Usually, like, you see a clip, and then within a couple months, you get to see the show.
Yes.
This is different just because of the timing, and honestly, there's probably like 700 of us who care. Everybody else is like, yeah, I'll see it when I see it. So.
I'm actually surprised.
How dare you, Omar?
And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 700.
Yeah, we're the 700. I mean, we're a special group, but again, I think most people don't, look like I really want to see it, right? But it is what it is, and we try to find it, but we couldn't. So,
I'm totally surprised that it did not leak. Like, I have not even heard anybody say, "Oh, I've got that clip."
Well, they probably forbade cameras, and you wouldn't want to get fully kicked out of the con in the middle of the Lord of the Rings / Wheel of Time panel. That would be embarrassing.
I've seen so many leaked things from cons that you couldn't take stuff into that still got out.
Yeah.
I'm super surprised that they haven't put it out.
Yeah.
Our fandom is just so respectful.
We're incredibly respectful.
It's what it is. We're just the best.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to draw any attacks, but unless you're on Facebook.
Whoa.
I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know.
Well, and Omar's got an awesome giant Facebook group, Tavern, so watch
yourself.
He does.
I'm in there.
Huge one,
I am in that Facebook group. I'm just saying that they're a little bit angrier.
Well, that's probably
no. Ours, by the way, we cleansed that taint a long time ago.
Good.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah.
But by the way, another thing that was impressive is that WatCon, who everybody, and I know some people did actually capture that deleted scene with Tam Thor. Nobody put it out, and that was kind of cool.
I did not.
you know, like it's kind of cool that everybody stuck to it and just didn't release it when they knew that they shouldn't. So that was kind of nice.
We all know snitches get stitches. That's why everybody hates Galad early seasons, early
Yeah.
early
Galad?
books.
Oh, that's
Exactly
true.
why.
That's true.
Okay. Just it, guy. There are dozens of us. Dozens.
Cousins.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and interesting thoughts at guy. Jordan Con is a con. So maybe if you go to Jordan Con, you get to see the clips. I don't know.
Maybe.
Feels like wishful thinking, but
Teasing us.
But maybe.
Teasing
I mean,
us.
I don't know anything. Don't quote me. I'm just hoping along with everybody else. Let's just say that.
Also, I don't see how they can not give Jordan Con something.
Yeah.
They did last year. There's gonna have to be something.
I would hope so. And I would settle for those clips. Honestly, it feels like the play, right? Other cons, like that's the con thing that people get.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it'll be something else. Honestly, like I really loved the interview last year. That was fabulous. So
Yeah,
I'd
that was really
totally
cool.
take something like that, especially if you got to hear from like, you know, last year they announced Ayula. What do we get to hear from? Or maybe they'll finally let us know Natasha and Mira's roles. You know, it could be anything.
Yeah.
So we'll have to cross our fingers and toes that it's something lit, or if there's something at all. Yeah.
Speaking of giving us stuff, Mar, have you heard anything on where the hell our origins are that we were promised
Yeah.
last August?
Maybe we'll get one of those at Jordan Con.
Freaking bullshit.
I emailed a few people. We've been asking. Nothing comes back. So just-
What the hell?
I'm on the record talking about this. If I were in their shoes with the release of the Rings of Power, people are going to hate me for this. They made the right call. That's your biggest franchise. You do not allow anything to get in the way, no matter how small. You can't do it. It's malpractice. So now again, it sucks for the social media handler. It sucks for Rafe. It sucks for the people who said it's going to come out. That there was poor communication. Again, at the end of the day, it was the right call. I think.
I agree.
I think
It
before
hurts. It hurts, but we
Rings
agree.
of Power. Yeah, I think before Rings of Power, absolutely. But after Rings of Power came out, and like well after Rings of Power came out,
And here we are.
Like right now.
you know, like right
tomorrow.
now, they can still toss us a bone.
Yeah.
Right?
Be like, you know, maybe they meant August of 2024.
Yeah.
They didn't say August. They said next month. First, or at least one of
that's
their
true.
tweets
true.
said next month because people keep saying
It's a
that.
long month.
I'm trying to give them a break here.
Next month of next year.
Yes.
So many layers. You just
So
never
many
know.
layers.
Month yet to come.
Right.
Month yet to come. A month long past.
Arosa's asking with potential September release, would it be too early to get a trailer in Jordan Con? I think yes, based on Geeky Aries
Probably.
posts. I think what she said is like a month and a half out is like trailer
Yeah,
time.
like 90. No,
Get the
not
hype
90 days, like
going.
45
Yeah.
days or whatever. Yeah.
Right? Isn't it like
That's about right.
45 days or 60 days or something like that?
There's a routine that they do, or a procedure that they have. Yeah, I think it's a month and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months at most. What about? And I've seen this on Twitter a few times. I want to say some of the Facebook groups as well, where people are saying that maybe the marketing team for Wheel of Time isn't doing that great a job. How do you feel about that?
By the way, I follow to give you an example, not my biggest thing that I like, but really I don't like it as much as Wheel of Time. Let me just put it that way. But I follow the Last Kingdom and His Dark Materials and a lot of shows on Twitter and other. It's almost like the season drops and then they disappear. They don't get book clubs and posts every couple weeks. Could they interact more? Sure, but honestly, I don't expect it. I don't think, like I said, it's not normal for me to. I haven't seen in other fandoms or things that I like. I haven't seen weekly engagement. I honestly don't know where that happens. That people have come to expect it. The person who handles this account, I guarantee you, hey, I'm working on this, and now I'm working on this other thing, and they can't just make up content, and they can't just post whenever they want. You know, they have a cadence, they have a schedule,
Yeah.
they have to go by. So yeah, I really, me personally, I love what they're doing. I do think in a lot of cases they have gone above and beyond engaging the fandom and taking people like Kritter and everybody else, and you know, Nameless and Dragonmount and Mad Hatch out to London, and you know,
That was a big deal.
it was like, honestly, like I said, it's they didn't have to do any of that, but it was nice. It was really nice, and they do cater to us quite a bit, and they have a good voice within the fandom. Like, I mean, when they talk in their comments, they're good. I mean, again, they're not as edgy as The Boys, for example, but I still like them. So I think they're doing a good job.
And the big puzzle that they put together
That was
for
cute.
us.
That was really fun.
That was, I mean, what other?
Well, and the hidden
when has that ever been done?
posters, right? The posters with like the back layer with the one power. Like
layer.
I agree with Omar. I feel, and of course I'm mildly biased because of like part of that marketing effort involved me very, very heavily. But I feel like I agree that I don't see the sort of interaction, like, sure, Rings of Power gets like a canned, you know, advertisement every week that's just a video of a clip of something that happened in season 1. Like, that's on a schedule. It's probably all like already there in their draft scheduled. It's automated. Whereas this feels a lot more personal. It's always felt more personal, and I kind of really love that that's the strategy that they're taking with us, even if in this off season the strategy ends up being, you know, a reply tweet once a week or every 2 weeks, and then the occasional, you know, screen grab with a witty title. Like, it's something, and it's fun, and like I have their tweets on alert, right? So every time it happens, I see it immediately. And so it's like you always get that like jolt, and sometimes it's something really effing fun, like the deleted scene finally coming out, but they have to save up that stuff, the extra cool stuff, and spread it out, because there's only so much they can do, right? It's not they have other things on their mind, presumably, that they're working on. Yeah.
I think that a lot of this, of course, you know, goes back to COVID, right? Where they had all of these shows planned out. You know, COVID hit, stuff couldn't get, you know, done in production or whatnot. And so the difference where Omar's saying, oh, well, you know, these shows, I don't see, I get that. Those shows are usually on a 1-year rotation. You know, kind of when they're coming out, they're set. Wheel of Time came out. Now we're at 1.5 years. We still have no clue when the next one's coming out, right? And then they have all these other new shows that are coming in, like Vox Machina got season 1 and season 2 is already out, which was of course incredible.
It's
but
animated,
they came out
though.
right at. It is animated,
way different.
but animation takes a long time. It's I wouldn't say it's as difficult as acting, but I know some animators, and it takes a while. Yeah. But I mean, and again, I'm not knocking. I'm glad for whatever we get. I'm just saying that I think with all of the shows that they had lined up, Wheel of Time got kind of redheaded stepchild a little bit, and kind of got shoved off to the side so they could get all this other stuff out. And I mean, I can be completely wrong, but that's how I feel about it sometimes. I'm just excited for when it comes out.
By the way, talk about getting shafted. Carnival Row. I don't think any show.
Yes.
I mean, if you really want to talk about like I mean, we're still fans of a show that is just about to start filming its 3rd season, and we're lucky that, you know, and they're taking their sweet time with season 2. By the way, for a reason. I mean, I just think. By the way, Ted Lasso, I think, took as long between season 2 and season 3. And no VFX, right? There was a visual effects backlog that this show had to contend with. And from the sounds of it, they said, hey, guys, our bad. We know some scenes suck, and it was COVID and everything, but we're going to own it, and we're going to do better this year. And that's what, honestly, that's why I'm hoping we waited this long. Yeah, take another 3-4 months. Yeah, just do it. And
I'm excited.
It looks like the weaves are going to be colored this time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Oh, I can't wait for that.
Give us some kick-ass CGI. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Carnival Row. I'm watching the 2nd season now. It's incredible. And
no spoilers, please.
Is this the last season for that?
Yes, they
yeah.
That's it.
It's leaving.
That sucks.
Well, okay, and like you mentioned
because it was great.
the giant gap. Like there is a big gap, but the gaps are getting wider, not just for Wheel of Time. Like Rings of Power after it finished was like, okay, see ya in 2024, and House of the Dragon did the same thing. Like it's literally like peace, like we're
Keep
out
your heads up.
for sure
Yeah.
for another year plus, like more than 1 year, because it's that aired in 2022 and it's not coming out till 2024.
That's the pattern they're going with. That's okay. They just, you should come out and say, okay, yeah, we're doing this every 2 years. You're getting a season every 2 years.
Well, they have to. Like
as opposed
Rafe
to-
has said it's this year. Like they've said that, so we know. So it's just a matter of what quarter. Obviously, it would be nice to know the quarter, right? Because Good Omens, for example, knows summer 2023, but we don't. And maybe it's a matter of that they don't want to say fall if it's September, because technically fall doesn't start until October, and then we'll get pissed at them for lying to us, or you know what I mean? Like, because we're so invested that like anything they say has to be like perfectly accurate, otherwise we'll never shut the hell up. Because think about the August thing. Like, think about the August thing. It's never gonna go
Next
away.
month.
So, okay. Sorry, I'm reading all the comments.
Yeah.
They're having a whole discussion.
Well, yeah, the Vox Machina thing was a whole different breed for sure. But again, I feel like animated 25-minute episodes, versus the CGI required in Wheel of Time is like no contest, no comparison whatsoever.
I'm trying to read the Twitch chat where Morshadi said something, but I can't.
Oh,
tiny.
Let's see. We're talking about per the podcast episode, streaming residuals pay out more during the first couple of years by how much they're watched, so it benefits the production and streaming companies to cut them from the line. Oh, they're talking about like things getting canceled early, I think. Which is obviously not the case for the Wheel of Time. So nice. And I agree with something you said earlier, Omar, like because they're actively writing and building sets and everything for season 3, it feels like I'm hoping to the creator that means the gap is going to be shorter for the next one. So even if it's like it comes out in September, it could be like, early 2025, God forbid, or something more like a year and a half versus 2 years. Something like that.
The original.
My fear. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say my fear with that is that we waited all this this time for season 2, then we have a quick turnaround on season 3, and then we have another 2-year wait for season 4.
Yeah,
because they're not caught up.
That would be
so
sad.
I would rather have it spaced out in an interval that we know about, as opposed to just being surprised.
That's a very good point. By the way, the first season was supposed to be filmed between September and May of the following year, right? Wow. So they're supposed to start season 3 next month, which if you say we're going to film for 10 months, they'll put us into the beginning of next year. That still puts them maybe with September the following year, but they do have to contend now when the Rings of Power second season comes out. Right, that's a problem, which is honestly puts them in a tough spot that we saw with. By the way, I have never watched the last season of what's that dragon show, Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, you're not missing much.
But I know everything that happened, and I will watch it one of these days. I'm just busy. I'll get to it. That in the last season of House. But anyways, so they did 6 episodes. So honestly, I don't think it's far-fetched. I would hate it. I don't think it's far-fetched that you start seeing some of these shows start saying, hey, you know what? We have to deliver a season, and we cannot tie down actors for 2 years at a time. Like, Yosha Stradovsky is like, what, you're going to keep me for how long? 16 years to finish this?
Yes.
About the rest of my career? So yeah, they might have to say, okay, we're going to do annual, but I'm going to take you down to 6 episodes, which will be manageable. Like I said, I would hate that, but I think they'll probably likely you'll start seeing some shows do that.
Yeah. Okay, Morshadi's yelling at me because I didn't read all of his comments. He's saying, I'll give you context because I missed the first one, which I think is probably the most important. He's saying, is Shamail conspiracy hat? Sony and Amazon contract negotiations are ongoing about streaming money. That's why we're getting nothing. He foresees an HBO Max style axing. See, I didn't read that because I don't like that negativity.
Get that out of here. I reject that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and reject that.
You get your Gowan looking self. No, I'm just kidding.
More
Yeah. Yeah, the VFX backlogs are sad, and I hope they get cleared up a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, did you see what happened with the League of Their Own? They're like, we're coming back for 4 episodes of a second season, and I hate them for that. Like, I love that show. But they'll do that stuff. They'll say, okay, we're going to give you 6 episodes from now on. Deal with it. At which point, we honestly, all of us, start going really hard at Amazon and Rafe and, do the campaigns and hope it works. So.
Can you imagine if the Wheel of Time fandom gets mobilized, finish the Wheel? We want the last battle. We want the last battle.
Yeah, that fight's happening right now with Warrior Nun.
Yeah,
like the show is amazing, and they just nixed it.
Yeah,
there's a war going on Twitter and all over the place for that show, and that show was stellar. I love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's cray.
Okay.
It's all cray. We ride for Tarman, Guide, and Jessica. Yeah, like can you imagine? Oh my God, it's gonna be nuts. Don't put that kind of energy out into the world, everyone.
Yes.
We're gonna get 8 seasons. It's gonna be perfect.
That's
I feel like we have a great time doing it.
That's the best rallying cry. If something like this ever happened, the golden crane. Oh my goodness,
So good, so good. Tavern, what were you saying?
Rosamund Pike comes out and she's like, Rafe is traveling to the last battle. Will he ride alone?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Okay, so we're getting to the end of this here stream. It's been an incredible discussion about season 2 and when it's coming and what we know about it already and what we might find out at JordanCon and maybe WotCon and who knows. It's a fun thing to speculate about, but it will be even more fun when we see what actually happens, I think.
Yes.
So I want to thank Omar for joining us. This was so much fun. All the deets again that WoTSeries uncovers, just nuts and amazing, and props to you guys forever. Much G.
We're not worthy.
I know, right? So what we usually do at the end of the stream is just give everybody a chance to say one last thing, give last words, plug something you want to plug, or say your favorite quote from Lord of the Rings, or literally whatever you want to say, you can say it. So I'll start with Tavern, and then we'll just go around in a circle, and I'll finish it out. So Tavern, go ahead.
Okay. Omar, thank you for being here. Again, if you need any help with anything, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help. I help out whoever needs it. 2, I think our next stream, whenever that is, there may be a raffle for a Chill Chat shirt.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Put that out there.
Exciting.
And the third thing I have is I do have a Discord, and we cover. It's kind of just starting out, but we cover pop culture. So any other shows, we have Wheel of Time, we have D&D in there. We have all kinds of stuff. If you would like to be on this Discord, please reach out to me. I will be more than happy to send you the link. And that's it.
Amazing. I want to reiterate something that Jessica said I was saying in the chat before everyone leaves, because we're all saying bye, is don't forget to hit the like button and sub to the channel if you're not already. If you're not, what are you doing? Winespring, you go ahead.
Yeah, Omar, thanks for being here. This was really fun. And WoTSeries is great. Y'all are kind of an honorable group of people doing really good work. You make us proud. So thanks for that. And, for everyone watching, don't forget winespringcafe.com has some fun recipes to kind of get you in the mood for the Wheel of Time coming out soon.
So good.
So good. Did we forget to do our introductions? We just introduced Omar.
We did.
We didn't do our own.
We were just so excited Omar was here.
All of our links are in the description of this video. Hopefully, if you're watching, you are familiar with who we are. Amazing. Okay, Omar, you go ahead.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I don't do these a lot, so it's enjoyed it a lot.
Yay.
And really, really good time. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that doesn't have a lot of time to consume all the content, because we have amazing content creators. That's why, again, being at WotCon was amazing, because we're all just chilling, talking, and all these theories and whatnot, and singing, and Joe from Tucker on Riyadh blowing the horn at 2 a.m. Again, can't wait to see that again. And the one thing I'll leave everybody with, if you work for Amazon trying to stick it to your boss and you know when the release date is, send us an email, tips@WatchSeries.com. We'd love to talk to you. won't tell anybody.
Also me.
Mom.
Also just DM me.
I'll tell some people, but we won't make it public.
I'll sign an NDA.
Just tell us. Yeah.
I won't
She'll
tell.
write it
I won't tell anyone. I'll just plan my vacations around it. No, I just want it for personal.
Would that be helpful?
Wouldn't it be?
God.
Wouldn't it be?
I'm like September. I'm like,
amazing.
I have plans.
Already? Okay, well,
I gotta
Omar,
cancel everything.
we really appreciate that you took time out of your busy sleuthing
Yes, thank
schedule to come talk to us today. I am so grateful for everyone who showed up in the chat. You guys are amazing. Tavern mentioned this. I don't think we're gonna do a show next week because I'll just be getting back from C2E2 and I'll be traveling the next weekend for Easter, and that's just a lot of stuff, and I need time to decompress. And then the next week, I believe, is Wat Idol. Probably on Tuesday night, and you know what I'm not gonna do is compete with that. So I'll be watching, and I think you should.
We're gonna watch too.
We're gonna watch too. I'll be watching. You should watch, and so we'll probably be back in 3 weeks, which would be the week after JordanCon. So probably,
Oh, what?
I think.
Really? Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay. Awesome. Sure.
I think, and if it's not,
When is our next show?
That's
3
crazy.
weeks
It's so
from now.
soon.
Probably.
I think you're right.
But anyway, so just know that watch our socials. We'll always tell you whenever we're coming back in advance. But it won't be for another 2 weeks at least. So just know that and get excited for the Wat Idol competition and do a submission. I did not do one. I'm not a musical person, but you should.
I thought, but did not.
And that's basically about it for me. And if you won the giveaway, just so you know, like if you're going to be at JordanCon, that's incredible. But I might not know what you look like, so you're gonna have to let me know when you're,
Name tag.
you're like DM me or whatever, so that I know when to have the sticker on me, basically, and then come talk to me, and then I'll give it to you.
Jessica has a question real quick before you leave.
Sure, what's up,
Important question, Jessica.
Will
Will
what's,
you
Would you
have
have
a stream
would you have
from
stream from
JCon?
JCon?
Winespring and I need to have a chat. But definitely, we talked about this last week. I will definitely be doing live streams of some of the panels that I'm on. So I'll set up a probably TikTok, actually, a TikTok live stream from those, and then Winespring and I need to, or not. I'm trying. How do
We're
I
gonna
point
figure
to
it out.
We're gonna do something. So I'll let you know the schedule for that. But that's a really good point. So. We'll talk and let you know. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the Wheel and Chill show. Thanks, Omar. Tavern and Winespring, always a pleasure. And we'll be back in probably 3 weeks and see some of you guys at JordanCon, okay?